again everyone, Sue here from Sue's Dog Rock My Kitchen, and I hope you're not going to stir crazy being locked inside your houses in this beautiful glorious weather that we're having. Anyway, I hope you're doing some research about why you're stuck in your house still. Please go and do some research, that's all I can say, okay? Anyway, today I want to make something really special and something that's low carb from my low carb book yet again, the Low Carb Gourmet. I love this book, and today I'm going to make a courgette cake. So this cake is very similar to a carrot cake, except you do not use any flour, not wheat flour. This is low carb in here, and everything on the table here is all the ingredients that you need. Right, just a word of warning, make sure you have plenty of time to make this because it has a lot of ingredients, and it takes about an hour to prepare just this bit, what I've just done now. Okay, this has taken me about an hour to go and get all the ingredients out, grind up the almonds. I mean, if you've already got almonds ground, then good for you. And if you've already got ground up nuts, then good for you. But if you haven't, you're going to have to remember to put that time inside, because it does take about an hour just to actually get all the prep on the table in front of you, so you haven't got to keep running off to different areas of your kitchen. So I just thought I'd better tell you that. So this process, this is probably going to take me, well, not that long now, since I've gone and got all the ingredients out and weighed up most things, not everything. And one of the courgettes, I want to actually show you how to grate it as well. So I've actually grated 2 of the courgettes here, but I'm leaving this one so I can actually show you on camera in case you don't know. So let's crack on, shall we? So this is going to be a really tasty, yummy cake that's a lot like a carrot cake, okay? And it has quite a lot of ingredients. So let's run through the ingredients first so you know roughly. I've changed a few things out, as I always do, only because I do not like Splenda or any kind of artificial sweetener. So I like to use natural sweeteners. So I've had to find alternatives for the sweetener, okay? So, first of all, you need 285 grams of cream cheese. I have used a combination of ricotta cheese and Philadelphia cheese, because both are cream cheeses, so you could use mascarpone cheese as well if you want, so any kind of cream cheese, okay? So that is 185 grams, okay? So that's 10 ounces. Then you need 170 grams of unsalted butter. Right, I don't have unsalted butter because the butter I've got here is Welsh, and all the Welsh butter has salt in it. So what I do is I do not add extra salt to the recipe. So when it calls for a pinch of salt or a quarter of a teaspoon of salt, I just don't add it because I take into account that there's salt in the butter. So do not worry if you don't have any unsalted butter, just don't put the salt in the recipe, okay? That goes for any recipe when it calls for unsalted butter. Don't run out and go and buy unsalted butter, especially for that. Just don't put salt in the recipe extra, okay? And then it calls for 20 tablespoons of Splenda. Wow, that to me seems a tremendous amount of artificial sweetener, which is really, really, really sweet anyway, and to put 20 tablespoons in? Yeah, I wouldn't know. Anyway, so what I've done is I've got rid of that. I'm not using that at all. I'm actually going to use some dates. So I've chopped up 120 grams of dates here, okay, which will add to the volume of the cake, but it doesn't matter anyway. Because I don't have as much of the finely ground almonds as what it calls for, because I ran out of almonds, so it's a bit less than 120 grams, 285 grams. I think it's 270 grams of ground almonds, so whatever will be made up in dates. So I never stick to the rules. I'm always breaking the rules. I don't believe that you should just stick to the rules with everything, okay? And also I'm going to just add 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, okay? So I'm adding 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, 120 grams of chopped up dates to add for my sugar. That's my sugar, not 20 tablespoons of Splenda. That to me seems extortionate amount of artificial sweetener. Yuck. But you can add 20 tablespoons of Splenda if you want. And then I've got 7 large eggs here, so they're there waiting to be cracked. And then 455 grams or 1 pound of courgette. Right, I don't go by weight when you go to the shop. You don't usually do that. So I just buy 3 or 4 courgettes. So I've actually bought 3 courgettes. And that will be enough, okay? And they weigh near enough a pound, okay? They're just short of a pound, but it doesn't matter. Nothing that has to be completely precise unless you're like that. And then 1 tablespoon of pure vanilla extract. So I'm using my own vanilla that I make myself. So 1 tablespoon of that, or you can use the vanilla extract that you can buy. And then 285 grams, 10 ounces of finely ground almonds. As I just said, I don't have 285 grams. It just falls short a bit, okay? It's about 270. But then it gets made up with the dates, okay? So it doesn't really matter. One outweighs the other. And then 60 grams of 2 ounces of finely chopped walnuts. Well, I didn't have 60 grams of walnuts left because I used them in another recipe. So what I've done to make up 60 grams is that I've added some blanched peanuts and I've blended it together. I've actually ground it. It's ground up in there. So I've ground together peanuts and walnuts, okay? They're actually ground. So they're made like another kind of flour, really. And then it says 5 tablespoons of ground cinnamon. So we'll put that in nearer the time. So there's the ground cinnamon. And we'll put that in when we need to. 1 tablespoon of Dutch processed cocoa powder. If you don't have Dutch processed cocoa powder, just use normal cocoa powder. But please make sure it's unsweetened, okay? You do not want to add any more sugar to this. So I do have Dutch unprocessed cocoa powder. And if you go and look on my avocado mousse recipe, I talk quite a lot about Dutch processed cocoa powder, and you can also go and do your own research, but it is the purest form of cocoa, okay? Right, so that's that done. And then you need 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. So I've weighed that out here, that's 1.5 teaspoons. And then it says 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt. As I just said, I'm not adding salt because I have salt in my butter, but if you haven't got salt in your butter, then use 1/2 teaspoon of salt, okay? Sea salt, not table salt. And then we're going to make an orange cream cheese frosting. But I'm actually going to do that in a separate video for anybody who wants to make a frosting for a cake for any time, okay? So I'm going to put that in a separate video. So, that's all the ingredients. Wow. So I've put the oven on and I've buttered, I've already greased and lined 2 cake tins, 8-inch. So 2 of these sandwich cake tins. You need to grease and line. Just put parchment paper in the bottom. So we've done that. In a large bowl, we're going to beat the cream cheese and butter until smooth. So we're actually going to get going now. So I've got a large bowl here, and we're going to beat to the cream cheese and the butter. So let's do that, shall we? So put the butter in here. I've got my mixer ready here. So these are all the things you need to get ready beforehand, so you're not running around your kitchen like a headless chicken trying to get it all together. Always pays to get all your ingredients on your table in one place, and all the instruments and everything that you need. So we're just going to beat this together. Add the sweetener and beat until combined. Okay then, because we're going to actually put in our dates, but we're not going to put them in yet. So leave that. Don't worry about that bit. Just leave that for a minute. And then we're going to beat in the eggs one at a time. So what we're doing first is we're beating the eggs one at a time, and we're going to add the dates like a dry ingredient, okay? And we'll also put in at the moment, yeah, we'll put in the maple syrup and all the rest when it calls for it, okay? So first of all, we're just going to do this bit. So we're going to beat in the eggs one at a time. Right, before we beat in the eggs one at a time, I just need to show you how to do the courgette, because this is the important thing, okay? Because that's got to go in a minute, and you don't want to be leaving it to the last minute. So I want to just show you how to do it. So I've got one courgette here that I haven't done yet. So I'm just going to peel it. So I would peel them because you don't want like the skin in your cake. Okay, so I would peel them, and they're very watery as well, and I'm going to show you what to do about that in a minute. Because you've got to squeeze them out and get the water out. Because remember, courgettes are baby marrows. That's actually what they are, really. Okay, there's no difference between a courgette and a marrow, except for marrows become really big and become very watery. So I'm just going to cut the ends off. Sorry, I nearly walked off there without cutting the ends off. So let's just cut the ends off of the courgette. And then we're going to grate it. So I'm just going to move this out of the way. Okay, won't be a second. Let's grate the courgette onto the plate with the other courgettes, okay? So just grate it with a cheese grater. Not very complicated. But I just wanted to show you this bit, just in case you wondered how to do it. It only takes a few seconds to actually grate it. It's very, very soft. And then try not to get these big bits, so I'm just going to take them out like that, okay? And then make sure you get all the inside bit. And that's it, okay? So I'm just going to take this over to the sink. I'll be back in a sec. Hello again. So now I just want to show you how to squeeze out your courgette. So you need a piece of muslin, a pair of tights if you haven't got a piece of muslin. Just cut off one of the tights legs. So don't worry if you haven't got a piece of muslin, or a piece of cheesecloth, and just put your courgettes in there, okay? So you're going to squeeze this out. You need to get rid of the juice, all right? It's got to be quite dry. So just do that. Cover up all the sides, like so. And then just get it like that. So you can do this in a pair of tights, as long as they're clean, obviously. They're a bit weird if they weren't. And then just squeeze it. So you want to squeeze out the water as much as you possibly can. Good for a man, if you had your man there right now. Someone with big, strong hands. And just squeeze out as much of the water as you can possibly get out. Okay? You want to do this because you don't want your cake all wet. So give this job to the person with the biggest hands in your family. The strongest hands. That could be you. Right, so I think that's all right. So there's quite a lot of water in there, you can see. So I'm just going to put that by the sink. I'll be back. Peel your eggs one at a time. I can't see with these glasses on, but I need them for reading. But when I'm trying to look at the camera, they get on my nerves. So let's just read it again. Beating the eggs one at a time. And then after stirring the courgette. Right, so that's all we've got to do. So we're just going to put the eggs in, one at a time. Beat it, put an egg in, beat it, put an egg in. Okay? So I'll be back in a minute once I've beaten all the eggs in. Hello again. Right, I've beaten all 7 eggs into the mixture. Okay, so the next stage is to beat the eggs one at a time, blend in well after each addition, stir in the courgette and the vanilla. So now we're just going to take this out, stir in our courgette, which is still in here, and just tip it in. Like so. Okay, just like that. There you are, all done. And the vanilla. So we're going to put some vanilla in. Let's use this dessert spoon. And that's that. Okay, so now we're just going to stir that in with a wooden spoon. There we are. Oops, take my glasses off. So we're just stirring that into the eggy mixture. Okay? So that's that. That's not very complicated, is it? So there we are. That's that done. Okay? Right, so that's done. So next is to, in a medium bowl, mix the ground almonds. So I've got the same size bowl. So I'm going to put them on there. Okay? So basically all your dry ingredients. So your ground almonds, your nuts. I've got bits of nuts in there. It really doesn't matter. Okay? Your coconut. This is to make it dark in colour. Your desiccated coconut. And here we're going to add the dates as well. And okay. And then your baking soda, baking powder. And now you need to put in also your loads of cinnamon, which is 5 tablespoons, but I'm just going to use a dessert spoon because I can't bother to go and get a tablespoon. I'm not going to use 5. It's got stuck in the bottom. I'm going to use whatever's left in this pot to tell you the truth. So that was about 3½ tablespoons. But you can put more in if you want, okay? I'm just leaving it at that, that's enough. And now we're going to just stir this up. I'm going to use this fork thing. So that's all your dry ingredients, and then you're going to mix your wet ingredients into your dry ingredients, okay? Not the other way around. So that's it. So if you've forgotten anything, remember now. So that's it. That looks good. So, oops. A few nuts in there, I can see. There's a few nuts and bits and bobs that didn't grind completely, but still it doesn't matter. It adds to all the goodness of the cake. Give it your own flair. It smells really nice, by the way. Look at that. And then you're just going to now stir in the courgette zucchini mixture and divide it into the tins. So we're just going to stir this into the dry ingredients. That's it. So the longest part of doing this recipe is actually getting it all together. Okay, this part is the easy bit. The actual, just the hardest part is getting it all together and putting it all on the table in front of you so you haven't got to run around getting it. Wow, looking good. Whoa. It's just like a carrot cake. Obviously this is low carb. That's just great. Let's just hope it tastes as good as it looks, eh? So just blend it all in. Make sure you mix it all in properly. And make sure it's all done good. Now we're going to get our 2 tins. 2 tins. We're just going to put half in one and half in the other. So just keep smoothing it out till it's sort of even. Then you're going to put it in the oven. I'll have a look how long. That's it. And there we are. So they're both basically the same. So there's the 2 zucchini cakes. So we're going to put them in the oven now, and we're going to put them in the oven. Wait for 35 minutes or until the layers are burned to the touch. Okay. And you put them in a preheated oven. I think I told you this at the beginning. Gas mark for 350 degrees centigrade. So mine will just go in whatever temperature it is. My oven is very temperamental, as I keep saying. So I will be putting them on the lower shelf, and I'll just keep an eye on them. And I'll be back if they come out all right. I'll see you again in a minute. Bye for now. Sue here from Sue's Dog Rock My Kitchen, and just an update, the cake is nearly done. I'm just doing the frosting, it's orange frosting. I've just got to change it slightly because I haven't got enough of the cream cheese to, because it takes quite a lot of cream cheese, I've just noticed. It takes actually 500 grams of cream cheese. I haven't got 500 grams, I've only got 350 grams. And it takes 230 grams of unsalted butter. Okay, so I'm actually going to put a bit of cream in. I know it shortens the life of the frosting, but we have to do that because otherwise there won't be enough cream cheese to put on the top and inside the cake. Alright, so I'm just going to mix some cream cheese with the cream and the butter and the sweetener all in one pot together. Okay, we're going to use some maple syrup for the sweetener again, and some vanilla extract. And we're just, sorry, you can hear my sheep. Nobody has a sheep in their house, but we do. That's Anu, he wants something to eat, but I can't leave my station because I've got to keep an eye on my cake. So he has to wait. So the cake is nearly done. In fact, I'm sure it's done now. Whoa. I want the knife to come out clean. That means the cake is done. Right, it's almost done. Okay, just a few more seconds. I said Daniel can wait. Right, so while I'm waiting for that, I'm just going to mix together. I'm going to mix up the cream first to make sure it's double for the frosting, okay? So that's the cream cheese, and I'm just going to put a bit of the orange juice in. So I'm just literally going to squeeze it into the mixture. But you don't have to do this. I'm going to do this rather than the vanilla, actually. So that'll do. So he's really moaning. Right, so now I'm just going to add some of the maple syrup, free-handed. I'm just going to put a little bit of vanilla essence in. I wasn't going to do it, but I decided to. And I'm just going to put the orange zest in also. I'm going to taste it. Quite salty because the butter I've used has got salt in it. But I can't help that because I can't get any with no salt in it at the moment. So I'm just going to add a bit more maple syrup. I'm going to add the cream now. So remember, this shortens the life of the frosting, but it doesn't matter. We'll eat it quickly. It'll last about 3 days, okay? But obviously it's not going to last much longer than that because of the cream. If you didn't put the cream in, it would last a lot longer. So while I was making the frosting, I actually turned the oven off so the cake wouldn't cook anymore. So I've got one of these spatulas. This is a heat-proof one. And I'm just going to go around the edge and loosen it. Should come away all right anyway because you did grease it. So I'm just poking it down. And I'm just going to do this, get the thing, then lift it like that, okay? Hopefully it comes out. And I'll do this one. The lead is there. Should be out there. On the side. Okay, so that's that one done. Okay, so that's that. So now we're just going to tip this out. And lift it off. Ta-da! There, the paper actually came off of that one. So leave them to cool until they're completely cold. And I'll be back once they're cold and we'll do the frosting. Okay? So I'll see you again soon. Bye. Hello, Sue here again from Sue's Dog Broadmouth Kitchen. I just want to show you the last part of the cake. So the cake has now been, well, it's been sitting on here for several hours. I got distracted, I had to go and feed Anu, all sorts of things. She got into the garden, my partner had to go out there and shoo them all out. Oh dear, it's been really hectic. And then I've just cleaned the kitchen and mopped the floor. And now my partner's waiting for his dinner because he's got a meeting at 7:30. So, but first of all, I want to do the cake. So it has been defrosting, cooling down, okay? So remember I made the frosting earlier and that's been in the fridge all this time. So it's nice and solid now. So it should be pretty easy to pick it up and just plop it on the cake like so, okay? So you're going to have enough to go on the inside and on the outside, supposedly. If it looks anything like the finished product, it should look really cool. So I'm hoping that it does. So we'll see. Proof in the pudding's in the eating. Haven't actually cut it, but I'd swear it smells absolutely amazing. The smell of this is just gorgeous. And it will be really, really filling. So I'm putting the top layer on now. So there we are. Right, so I'm just putting the top of the cake on. Frosting. This cake won't be very sweet because obviously I didn't use 10 tablespoons of Splenda, but you can do that if you want. I only use dates and a bit of maple syrup to sweeten it with. So it's probably not going to be very sweet. It'll be extremely filling. It'll be like having a meal. So when you have a slice of this cake, it's going to be like having a meal, I think. It's got so much ingredients in it. And it grows well, it's really good. I'm really happy with it. I just hope it tastes as good as it looks, eh? Looks really good. So I'm just putting the cream around the side now. this might get a bit messy. But just put it on there, just get it on there, and then you can sort it out once it's on. But just get it on there first and then smooth it out after. Okay, just telling you, just. And it's nearly done. I'm getting really tired now because I've been working all day in the kitchen. I'm really tired. I was going to the garden today, but I never got round to that today. Making videos takes a long time, by the way, folks. It does take a long time. It takes a big portion of the day cooking. Especially today, because I've decided to make this cake. I've been wanting to make this cake for ages, and I just thought, well, there are no special occasions coming up, so I've just got to make it anyway. But this would make a nice cake for a special occasion for, you know, a loved one. Birthday. You could make this for someone's birthday. If you haven't got all the ingredients for a normal cake, and you happen to have the ingredients for this one, you could make it a birthday cake. Right, it looks fantastic, I must say. I think my partner will be impressed. Oh, I'm impressed. I'm going to grate a little bit of orange on the top, just so it looks pretty, okay? Oh. Right, I think that's it actually. I'll stop playing with it now. I'm just going to lick that off of there. This is when we have children. No, hit the bowl. Then I'm actually going to cut it. See what it looks like inside, because I don't know yet. It might be awful. So I'm just going to grate a little bit of orange zest. Don't need too much, there's already some in there. Just want to make it look pretty. Ah. Yeah. I hear something.
Are you doing it?
Yes, I'm nearly finished. I'm just finishing off my cake.
Well, you'll have to edit that bit.
I will. Right. Okay, so I'm just putting a little bit of orange zest on the top so it looks all nice and pretty. And then it'll be finished. And that will be a beautiful courgette orange cake. Courgette cake with orange frosting. That's basically what it is. Right, I'm just going to cut it. So here we go. So I'm just going to cut a slice. You've got to see what it looks like inside, because it could be awful. And then I'm just going to get a plate, put it on. Just take these away so you can see what it looks like. Wow. Well, that's what it looks like on the inside. It is a really heavy cake, by the way. This is going to be so filling, because it's got all those nuts and almonds and so much stuff in it. I'm just going to taste it. Oh yeah. Even though I can only eat on one side of my mouth, because of having my tooth taken out. Keep saying it. Sympathy, please. Oh my God. You must make this. Oh my God. I'm not going to eat anymore, because I want to have the rest of that after my dinner. It's just perfect. I love it. I love the texture of it. Nice and light. Even though the taste is really heavy, the actual texture of it is really light. It's really weird. It tastes absolutely amazing. Wow. You can taste all the flavours in there. I'm glad I didn't put any more cinnamon in, because I think it would have overpowered it somewhat. As it is, I can taste the cinnamon, and it's not too strong, because I want to taste all the nuts and everything else that I've put in there. But it tastes really nice. So, I hope you enjoyed this video with my courgette cake with orange frosting, done Sue's way. And if you want the ingredients for this amazing cake, just leave me a comment. And this is a really low carb cake, and you can eat as much of it as you want. Even though I think one slice of it and you'll be full up, because it is really filling and has loads of ingredients. And remember, there are 7 eggs in this cake. 7. So it is a really filling cake. Anyway, please leave me a like, subscribe to my channel, tell your friends and family about my channel, and if you would like the ingredients for this, please leave a comment below. And if you would just like any information about low carb cooking, just leave a comment. If there's anything you would like me to make, a cake that you've made and you would like me to make it, then please leave a comment below. I love low carb food and low carb living. It's a great life, and you don't have to eat stodgy cakes with tons and tons of sugar in it. This hasn't got any processed sugar in it. It's just got a little bit of maple syrup in it and dates. That's what I made it sweet with. Okay, so it's got maple syrup and dates and no Splenda, because I don't like artificial sweeteners. So it has to have a natural sweetener, and it is absolutely delicious. Anyway, thank you for watching my channel, and I hope you'll come and see one of my other videos. Go and have a look at one of my other low carb videos, and if you've just caught the second part of this one, then go back and then go and see how I actually made the courgette cake. Okay? Thank you for watching. Bye for now. Bye.